On this episode, we are talking about the joys of Calgary community. We're gonna sit down with Jessica and talk all about it. Come join us on the Courage Chronicles. Let's get into it. Hi there, my name is Connor Curran, and I'm one of the co-owners of Local Laundry. Come join me on the Courage Chronicles, where we interview different people on their area of expertise and how they became successful and how you can learn from their success. Welcome back to another episode of the Courage Chronicles. We are here today with Jessica Janzen. Last episode, we talked about finding joy and bringing joy into the everyday. Today, on this episode, I would love to talk to you about what unique aspects of Calgary has had a real impact on your life and career.
Oh my gosh.
Like you said in the last episode that you drove out here, you know, I still want to know why Calgary. I want to dive a little bit deeper into that.
I think we both spoke about like why Calgary, and I was like young, single, and able.
Yeah.
It wasn't too far from home, big city, but small town feel. And I honestly think it's probably been the last 18 years that has given me the evidence of why this city is so fantastic. The first thing that comes to mind is community. When you are going through something or you are building something, when you call on people in the city, they respond. Like I think it is built up of the best entrepreneurs, the best, you know, most generous, supportive community members. Whether they're in business or, you know, they're in the corporate world, I've just seen people come together in such big and beautiful ways. I think we talk about, you know, community over competition. I've seen that time and time again. I love what this city has to offer in terms of some of the best restaurants, some of the most unique access to the beautiful outdoors. Like literally from, you know, our home, we're 45 minutes to an hour to the mountains, where people from around the world will travel and then to come and explore, which I think is fantastic and amazing. I love the restaurant scene. I think we have some really, really talented chefs and restaurateurs here. So I love that aspect, that there's always something new to explore or to enjoy. And I think it's just like the landscape. I remember driving here when the house that we had rented, I hadn't seen it. Our friend, you know, decided to get it. I moved here with one other girl that I knew, and then I didn't know a soul, anyone else in Calgary. And as I was driving up, you know, finished that 1,300 kilometer drive, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a hill to my house. Like that was, I came from the prairies where you could watch your dog run away for 4 days.
Yeah.
So that was wild. I think the landscape, and like this is just a beautiful city.
Yeah.
And I think we continue to do a great job of growing. We've just gotten our new conference center that's gonna, I'm like, what's the official name? Is it BMO?
I think so, yes, you're right, it is the beautiful, yes.
Okay, if it's not, then correct the title in the caption or whatever, but like our new conference center, this Stampede, there's just endless amount of opportunities here.
There is.
And I think if you're looking to build a life, if you're looking to grow a family, if you're looking to find community, you will find it here. That being said, what you put in is what you will get out. And it's like how a farmer operates. What you seed in spring will be what you harvest in fall. And so if you're looking to get connected in this city, it's so huge. You talk about my energy. I just can't be in a room. I literally cannot be in a room with bad energy.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be the person that's like, ugh. Hi guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I
okay.
can't imagine you being that person.
Well, I just know what it feels like to be on the other end, where I was like, oh my gosh, like that's what you're bringing into this environment. And so when people are saying I'm looking for community or I want to get connected, like I'm like, go all in, and what you would like to see in return, be that for other people.
Yeah.
And so I think because I've shown up with good energy, I've been willing to roll up my sleeves and do the hard work and serve and help build part of, you know, this city. We've seen that come back tenfold, and so that's why I love this city. I mean, the list is endless. I also met the love of my life, my husband. We're raising our kids here. I think there's incredible teachers. And
Is he from Calgary?
born and raised, which is so rare.
It is rare.
And like his family, it's so neat to see. My mother-in-law works at the Starbucks in the Northwest, and people come in and know her, and she's gone to school with them. She's born and raised, and just we call my brother-in-law the mayor, because like literally you can't go somewhere without without him knowing, like either half the room, 10 people in the room, like he's just got that infectious energy about him. And so it's neat to have married into a family that's born and raised and has deep roots, and some people that are family members have just like welcomed me in, like I'm part of the family. So it's been really cool to plant roots here and to grow a life here.
Was there any, I'm always curious, was there any cultural shocks or differences from Manitoba coming to Calgary? You mentioned the hills and that kind of thing. Was there anything else where you're like, oh, that's kind of weird that they do that here, we don't do that back home? Like my wife is from Ontario, so the first one's like bag of milk, you know, like that's so weird.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or like little things or
I feel like I've been here for so long that maybe I don't know if anything stands out culture shock wise other than like the hills. I love the grid system, like it's so easy to get around in Calgary.
Is there anything you miss about your hometown? Other than family?
Yeah, I do miss living on a farm, and I don't think I'd ever say that. But like there's something about just having some space to breathe. And I live in a beautiful community, which I won't say on here, but it's an older neighborhood and I absolutely love it. But growing up at my parents' place, like you could walk out the door and it was just field. So you could just like watch the sunset. Like here, it's all of a sudden just gets dark, like the sunset falls behind trees. So it's just different. Like that for me would probably be a culture shock, but more so just from like the home I was like raised into here now. Nothing else crazy shocking. I think, you know, seeing how many people dress in Western wear, but mostly just for Stampede, I just freaking love it.
Yeah.
Because I love watching the city come together with that vibrancy.
But you said your husband is from Calgary, which is really rare because most people in Calgary are from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Much like yourself.
Yeah.
How do you think that impacts Calgary as a whole, as a city that is just filled with people that aren't from here?
I think it's what makes it so unique.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that have moved here because they were looking to start a new life or plant new roots. So I think that makes people, I would hope, and what I've seen is like more generous, more willing to, you know, help each other out, come alongside each other. So I think it's neat to have a bunch of different cultures, different perspectives come together, and it can be a really beautiful part of our city.
Because now, how many restaurants do you guys have across the city?
So my husband, along with his other business partners, were part of 98 Food Co., which franchises restaurants. So there's 5 different brands underneath it, and they have 75 different store or locations across Western Canada.
Wow. So your family's single-handedly contributing to the shape of not only the food scene, but...
Oh, just me. I mean, no.
You single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
Yeah.
The amount of coffee I consume, but no, I mean, yeah, it's really neat. My husband is one of the hardest working, dedicated, loyal.
Most handsome. I mean, that's why he's got the nickname.
Hot Ronnie.
Hot Ronnie.
And he is hot.
Can confirm.
Can confirmed. I've never met someone that's called him ugly, so yeah, that is confirmed. But I would say his hard work and consistency. We met in the restaurant business. We were both met at Jugo Juice in the head office.
No way.
Hated each other. And I love the restaurant business because it's about serving other people.
Yeah, was that your first job when you moved here?
Nope, I sold boats.
You sold boats in Alberta?
Yes,
in
where
Calgary.
there's no lakes and a lot of water. Yeah, I know that makes sense. It was in the boom, and people had money, and you know, oil and gas was booming. People would come in and be like, here's a check for $85,000, and I'm like, what is happening? It was great, but it didn't last. I was there for a year, and then I got into consumer packaged goods, then into the restaurant scene. I love service.
Yeah.
I love being able to serve people, and I do miss it. My husband and I talk about one day would we open our own. And to be honest, I'd love just to work front of house because it is the simplest way to impact people of just like how you show up, of what kind of energy can help turn someone's horrible day into something a little bit better. But to get back to the Hot Ronnie thing, he has rolled up his sleeves. They had 6 chachis at the time when he joined on board, and they've grown it to over 75 locations. And so Hula Poke chachi sandwiches, DeVille and Analog Coffee are what we're growing, and we're franchising those businesses. And so it's incredible to be able to give other people opportunity, but we're really good at like, I say we, I am not involved in this business at all other than my 2 cents on Ronnie's. Like, you know what I mean? Being like, this wasn't right at one of the stores today. Like, this pastry was dry. This latte didn't feel like...
All very important feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an operational like that's just how I'm wired. So I walk into a building or into one of our stores and I'm looking to see what's working and what's everything that's not working. Because that's how you get better, is like having a lens of curiosity and saying, how can we do this? But I say we, it's been my husband and his business partners, Derek and Jason, and their incredible team that have grown the business and the brand, and we survived COVID, and it was crazy. I mean, we were one of the families that had to remortgage our house. We sold a vehicle. My husband took the train every day, and oh my gosh, at one point I was like, we're gonna have to move in with my mother-in-law or with my parents. And we're both like, holy crap, like it was a grind.
And you just find a way to make it work, which is something I think is also so uniquely Calgarian. You know, when the time gets tough, we just roll up our sleeves and we figure it out.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's part of, I think, the joy in the journey. I just read this quote right before I came here. It was like, once you make peace that life is about solving problems, like you can access more joy. And I think that's it. Like I think
texted that to you.
Thank you. Really setting the framework. You haven't texted me in a long time. You owe me a text. But I think that's true. And I got that advice from somebody from my marriage. They said, find somebody that you're good at solving problems with and you will have a great marriage. And that's the truth. Not that I want to say everything we encounter is a problem.
No.
But it's about these puzzle pieces and figuring out and finding solutions to tough things. And so when you look at it, it's like if we can find joy in solving problems, like life is a hell of a lot better.
There is a joy. Like when you have a really tough problem and you finally figure out the solution.
Yes.
That is an inexplicable joy.
It is, and I think
love
more
that
people forget that joy isn't just figuring it out, but you can actually access joy along the way. And I think when you do that, you have to do it with a lens of curiosity and start playing out these what if scenarios. Like, what if it does work out? Like, what if this goes viral? Like, what if we can, you know what I mean? And that's where things can become fun again. And I think a lot of people have lost the art of joy in everyday life.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, if people are looking for more joy, where can they find you?
I mean, come have a dance party. Social media, you can come find me at the Jessica Janzen on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Check out my website, jessicajanzen.ca. And of course, go and check out our charity, loveforlewiston.ca. We do some incredible work and host some super joyful events.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Check out our next episode where we talk a little bit about a courageous moment in Jessica's journey that's impacted her life and her career. Thanks so much for watching the Courage Chronicles. If you want to find out more information, click that big old link down below or check out YYC Calgary Business. You can even check out our clothing company, localaundry.ca. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now.